that there was an error and I couldn't get back in.
Got it.
But
All
it
right.
had said that before all that, it had said that you left.
Oh, I don't know why, but it's all right. I was just inviting people, but I don't know if they'll be able to click that same link now.
But that's why I was saying I don't know what's happening because it said you left.
Got you. Let me see something. When I do that, you can't hear me, right?
Do what?
When I leave the room.
No, I can't hear you.
All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Monster on the beat, ho, Debo, big rap, nigga, get a free throw, man, damn, all I am lame, tell a free throw, never nigga, to the cross, he walk around like Tito. What's up with these phony ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry hate me, fuck them all in.
Hey, Josh.
How many options do we got? I mean, there's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and
How we looking?
I'm good.
All good?
You can see the comments.
Yep. What it is? The braids? Yes, the braids.
What do people say during this time? They say waiting for people to come into the live.
They not like us. 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 You think the people that you disrespect type nigga? I think they're open to a real that's that nigga. They come foul. I don't know why you still playing. What is the hour? Niggas and bird bitches.
I'm trying to find Family Matters. Or what?
A minor.
I'm trying to find Drake too.
This is not funny.
Yeah, this is definitely a bop. This is definitely the song you dance to.
About to dance in the office. Yes. All right. I see more people starting to trickle in. Say what up. Say what up.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like
You know,
us. They not like us.
I don't think I filled up my water.
Mine isn't full either, but it'll do, you know. You gotta pay BBL Drizzy. Oh man.
north side. What you change, say you good, but he lied. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer. The family matter and the truth for the matter. He was God's plan to show y'all the liar.
I didn't catch God's plan before.
He a fan. He a freaky ass nigga. He a 69 God. Freaky ass nigga. He a 69 God. Hey. Run for
All
your
right, I'm back.
Hey. Run for your life. Freaky ass nigga. He a 69
I didn't catch the God's plan reference the last time I listened, or the last few times I listened to it.
There's a lot of references. We're gonna get to it.
OV ho. OV ho.
Oh man. Love it.
Well, you let me know when you want to start, or I'll keep playing music.
I don't know if we're allowed to keep playing music, but
I was wondering about that.
yeah, I think it'll
Figured they
get
would have
flagged.
kicked us out, you know.
Maybe later when it posts to YouTube, they'll flag it. I don't know.
Oh.
I never played music on a live, so
Uh,
we shall see.
oh, so I shouldn't play Drake?
Go for it.
I just feel like, to be fair, you know.
Right? Why not? Balance is key.
Mm-hmm. This one might not make you dance in the office. Oh, that's good to know. Kendrick isn't flagging his diss songs, but Drake is. Drake is ridiculous. I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't, I can't reveal my bias. Not just yet. All right, let's see.
I chose St.
No
George's University.
No ads. Here we go. Welcome, whoever's in the live. We're gonna get started soon.
What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why is it Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months. The distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child.
Welcome to the live. Say what up.
Let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected.
Kendrick isn't flagging his diss song, but Drake is. Oh, well, there's that. What up? What up, y'all? Say what up in the chat. Let us know who's here.
Hey.
That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me. I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with. It's so excessive. They're acting like it's so aggressive. But you just never know affection. I don't want to dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing.
I don't want to diss you anymore. You can't.
I never been with no one underage, but now I understand what people that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been
Flying.
Weird line every time you hear it.
Yep. All right. I guess as soon as that's done, we can get started.
Yeah. But what about your friend?
All right.
Ready?
We can let it finish. Then we can get it started. Okay, Oliver text me. Oliver's live. What up, Oliver?
Hey, hey.
See that text? Hey, there you go. Oh, in the chat. What up, player?
Hey, hey.
All right. Let's get it started.
No.
And then whoever jumps in the chat and whoever tunes in could tune in. Either way, we got a pod to do. So
Yeah.
let's get to it. So this is the live version of Weeknights. We are live
Weeknights.
tonight on this Monday night to talk
Yep.
about all of the beef. All of the beef that came out over the weekend, all of the records that came out over the weekend, because we did a pod on Friday and then all hell broke loose.
Hours later.
All hell
3
broke
hours later.
loose. Our pod dropped at 9. Drake dropped at 11. Kendrick dropped at like 11:15. And
11:30 something
Kendrick
like
dropped
that.
Saturday. Drake dropped Saturday or Sunday. Oh, Sunday. So
Yeah.
let's get to it. Y'all know what we're here to talk about. Feel free to jump in the chat. We're gonna go in chronological order and try to go that way. But feel free to share your thoughts with us. But we want to make sure that we're fair and give each record a
Fair.
little bit of, well, fair in the sense that we want to speak about each record,
Of course.
not just come up and be like, this nigga lost, yo.
I mean, is there a contest?
Well, we'll get to that. We will get to that. So Friday we did our
Wait.
pod
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm
intros.
Dash.
Okay, you're right. That's why you the co-host. Go ahead, get it. Intros.
I'm Dash. I'm not gonna do all my intros today. I don't want to bore the people.
Okay.
I feel like we should get right to it. But I am Dash, one half of the Weeknights podcast, and you are.
I am JD, aka He Who Pods. You know what I'm saying? And
We gonna pod today.
we got a lot to talk about. So let's just dive in. We did our pod Friday. We spoke all about 616 in LA. Um, we spoke about the theories and we did a lyrical breakdown. Y'all
Yeah.
could go check for it. And
Mhm.
shortly after that, a lot of stuff came out. So let's start with what happened. Oh, then we should also recap that Friday we both had Kendrick winning 2-0.
Yes.
And that was comparing push-ups and Euphoria as one round, and Tailor Made Freestyle and 616 in LA as the second round. And
Mhm.
so based on those records, we had Kendrick up 2-0. And that was Friday. But then, like we said, Friday, 11 p.m., Drake drops Family Matters. 7.5 minutes, three different beats, some weird visuals. Uh,
Yeah. I think the visuals had meaning, but when you
yeah,
put them all
sure.
together, it is a little weird. But the New Ho King restaurant that Kendrick referenced,
Right.
he went
He's
to
in
the
there.
restaurant. He's there. It appears to be the owner. I'm not sure. That has not been confirmed.
Threw,
I have
threw
not
all the
confirmed that.
bling on the owner.
Yeah, he has the bling on. Um, there's there's a video towards the beginning. Like there's a clip of a tow truck towing a minivan.
It's supposed to be the van from Good Kid, Mad City.
Got it. Okay,
He
so
references it towards the end when it's the third beat.
got it. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, so yes, it had like it was like but as I suspected, it was very produced.
Yes.
It wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna throw this thing together
No.
and he didn't do he didn't do what Kendrick's been doing and just, putting out the audio with like over an image and
Right.
then keeping it moving, which I'm not knocking. I'm just, different styles, the two of
Different
them.
style for sure.
But I suspected that because Drake is Drake,
Right.
and not in personality, but in fame and celebrity and cachet,
Right.
and that means that whatever,
Noises.
whatever, um, whatever he puts out is always very heavily produced. And are you serious?
Crush the van from the good cover of Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah, that was the whole concept. He references it at the end, Josh.
Got it.
Towards
Yeah.
the end, when the beat switches the third time, he says "Good Kid, Mad City, van," and then he says something after.
Okay.
So, yeah, he made
Makes
sure to
sense.
let us know. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. It was we got some visuals. He made sure he put a lot of thought into this. Immediately when the song starts, you notice
Mm-hmm.
Family Matters begins where push-ups left off.
Yeah.
And that same little piece of the end of push-ups
Mm-hmm.
is where Family Matters starts for the first, I don't know, minute and a half, 2 minutes. Um, and came right back with that. So I guess, and we spoke about this off pod, but I guess that was gonna be the next record. But then he
Mm-hmm.
heard 616 and said, "Oh, okay." Well, he heard Euphoria and 616 and said, "All right, I got to do more than this." And
Right.
then he put the other two beats with it. I want to start by saying, um, you know, this is a good record. Family Matters is another good record from Drake. I
Mm-hmm.
think. I think he did his thing. I think that you could see that he listened to Euphoria. He listened to 616. He responds to some things directly. And once again, he makes sure to address the field.
Yeah,
He says
he did.
people's government names.
Leland Wayne,
Yep. He
Metro
says people.
Boomin,
Yep. He says people's government
Abel,
names.
The
Um,
Weekend.
yep. He
For
speaks about Future as well. He says we never even really went through no drama. I don't know what's going on. And he said, it gotta be Future. It gotta be Metro Boomin's ass influencing you. He speaks about, the weekend harmonizing. He speaks about, I'm gonna get arrested when I kill you, and Rick Ross is gonna read me my Miranda rights.
He did say
Uh,
that.
yep. He brings up Ozempic again.
Everyone has brought up Ozempic. Ozempic
Ozempic
is the real
Ozempic is the real
star.
winner of this battle.
Yeah, because If you weren't thinking about Ozempic before, you're thinking about it now.
Definitely. Hard not to now.
Hmm.
So Zempic was brought up. He addressed a lot. And it was a good record. It
Hmm.
was a good record. I
I
think
thought
this
so
is a
too.
solid record. What'd you say?
I thought so too. I thought it was solid.
Yeah, I've listened to it a couple times, even though it's way too long, 7.5 minutes. It didn't need to be 7.5 minutes. I would
How
like to
long
say
did
that.
you think it? How long did you think it needed to be?
Well, me personally, I don't need the first 2 minutes to the beat that push up ends with. I know he's trying to come and do his normal Drake thing, diss you over a party record.
They're
I
coming to
didn't
get
need it.
Diddy again.
They
Sorry.
coming to get rid of me. Yep, that's true. Um, I didn't
Allegedly.
need that. We could have
Yeah.
got straight into the real raps. Uh, you know, and then they're copying each other a little bit. You know, on Family Matters, Drake says, "Day free for like a long time." He holds the E,
Yeah.
and shake that ass for free, but not that free, my nigga Dave. It was cool. I didn't
Right.
need any of that. I didn't. And we could have went straight to the second beat, because like I said Friday, and I think this is gonna be a theme that we continue with on this pod. We'll see, but
Uh huh.
I don't think doing records that are gonna make people shake their ass is gonna do this. Is gonna win this battle, especially for Drake, because we've seen that so many times from you. It's kind of
Hmm.
your MO. And I think Kendrick has proven your MO is not going to work this time
Hmm.
around. You really got to get in there and rap. Yeah, close the curtains. It's about to get dark in here. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Come to the dark
This
side. You know
this
what I'm
is
saying?
normally closed during weeknights. I don't. I guess I'm not used. I'm a
It's all
little
good.
thrown off with the live.
No, no, it's all good. No worries. It's different for me too. I had to set up all my stuff differently. But yeah, so I think I didn't personally need that first minute and a half or whatever.
Hmm.
It's cool that you got this bouncy beat, and it's cool, it's playful, but I didn't need that. The real rap started to me the second beat. Um and I think 7.5 minutes is a lot when there's a lot of fluff. And I gave the same critique of Kendrick, right? I said in Euphoria, I didn't really need that beginning part, even though it's all right. 616, it was like, all right, you playing around a little bit. I don't think this is the play around beef. I think this beef has been hard hitting enough that we just got to come out swinging, not singing.
I think the
So,
beef has been pretty unserious. Well, okay,
oh, I don't think so.
we didn't get to the serious stuff yet, but I
No, I'm
think
talking about just to the point of Family Matters.
right. I think I think they kind of been, jabbing and making fun, and I'm gonna talk about your height and stuff like that. I think
That's
it
what
took
Drake
a
did,
turn.
but that's not what Kendrick did. Even on Euphoria,
No,
that wasn't playful.
yeah, but it's still. I mean, going from Euphoria to where we are now, things
Sure.
got real in a
Yeah.
real, in a really
I
real
mean,
way.
to me, Drake had a specific tone with push-ups and with
Hmm.
tailor-made freestyle. Once
Hmm.
Euphoria came, all that shit went out the window.
Well, right. I mean, he had to. Drake had to, in his own way, come at it differently because
Mhm.
then you got to be able to match this person's energy or at least attempt to. You can't, which we'll get to, because I don't know that. I honestly think Drake is a little too arrogant for his own good, but um yeah, I think you got to try to match each other's energy. And so when your opponent steps up his game, like, not that he wasn't stepped up, but when he takes it to another level, or when the vibe shifts, you got to shift with the vibe. I feel like that's yes, I
Right.
feel like that's when, Drake was like, "Oh shoot, another
Yeah.
one."
Right.
This is not for play anymore. Okay.
Right. And
Sort
so,
of, because today I don't even know what Drake is thinking, but we'll get there.
I walked away from Family Matters on first listen thinking two
Mhm.
things. One, is Drake trying to leave this battle? Because he
I don't
said,
understand that.
I'm going on vacation. Y'all niggas get it together. I
Right.
was like, sir, you can't be telling niggas, yo, I'm ready. As soon as you drop, I'm on your ass. And then say, hey, I'm going on vacation, y'all. Have a good one. And the second thing, which I told you because we spoke minutes, we spoke right after it dropped, um, was Family Matters did not feel like a knockout punch. I was very surprised that Drake said, I'm going on vacation. Yeah, he hit back, but this
He
didn't
did.
feel like closing the chapter or closing the book or a knockout punch. And I was like, the way that Kendrick has been coming at you these last two records, again, just right there, before we even get to everything else, just
Hmm.
on first listen, I was like, I don't know if this is going to do it. Kendrick didn't seem like he was done. And this didn't seem to me like Family Matters was the one, as we say.
I think Drake thought that because he is who he is, and this is why I say he's a little too arrogant for his own good. I think Drake thought that he was gonna show up. He was gonna say what he said and then say, I said what I said.
See you
And
later.
that was gonna be it. And we were all gonna be like, okay, let's all go back to our corners. Kendrick was gonna say, okay, time to go back to my corner. And that is just simply, I don't underestimate your opponent.
And
Don't
yes.
and and Kendrick hasn't really been missing. So I think I
Kenny
think
pummeled him back with back to back, beating Drake on all the metrics people rewarded him for. That man was begging for Kendrick to drop, only for him to say Kendrick did too much. Yes, yes,
right.
that is true, Josh.
Absolutely. Which is why it's like, what did you showed up now and now you're saying, okay, I'm done? Huh?
Yeah, it's weird.
And we talked last week because I know my tone is very different from last week. But last week I was like, oh, Drake, when Drake comes back,
Right.
we're gonna get Drake of yesteryear. We're gonna get the Drake that has the intensity and the passion,
We spoke
and
about timestamp
he's
Drake.
right, and he's just gonna be doing this because this is what he loves to do. And I don't think Drake likes to rap anymore, and that's a different conversation. We could have it another time, but I don't
Yikes.
think Drake likes to rap anymore. I am convinced, and I think he does it because it's his job. And honestly, that's how you know it's time to leave a job. But we can have that
When you only
conversation,
there so you don't get fined?
right? But we can have that conversation another time. Like, this is the way he maintains his lifestyle. This is how he makes his bread and butter. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like
Yeah.
this feels very much like I don't want to do this no more. But and he's in the middle of the battle. I feel like saying I don't want to do this no more.
It's weird.
But he
It
can't
was
not.
weird. It was weird when he said, I'm going on vacation. Again, to me, I thought it was a good effort, Family Matters, but it didn't feel like a knockout punch. And it very much felt like, I'm going to slide out of here. I see y'all later.
Right. Like maybe if I don't go too hard, then he won't come back. I don't
Yeah.
know what he thought. I don't. I really don't. I feel like there is a Drake that lives inside of his body that can do what we thought he was gonna do, but that Drake
Uh-huh.
is just not showing up.
Yeah. And I want to be clear. I agree with you. I think, but I don't want to make it seem like I think these records suck. I want to
Yeah,
reiterate.
they did it. They
Right. I
did.
want to reiterate that Drake's records have been solid. They just haven't been on the Kendrick level. And that shows greatly when Family Matters when Meet the Grams drops minutes later.
Let, let me say something. Dear Adonis is all I needed to hear. I didn't need to hear the rest of the song. I did not need to hear the rest of the song. The rest of the song could not have existed. He could have just said, Dear Adonis, dot, dot, dot. and the song could have been over.
Right.
And I would have been like, Kendrick won. That's it. It's over. But he goes on to talk to everybody in the family,
Everybody.
even someone we didn't know was a part of the family, allegedly.
He,
Um,
yep.
Let me tell you something. I don't have kids. Um, don't talk to my kid.
Right.
Don't talk to my kid.
Yeah. Even
Don't say
even
his
Eminem
name.
said, Eminem said, I heard Haley's name on a song and I just lost it.
You see black, red, however you whatever you normally say, because people say different things. But no,
Dear
don't,
Adonis, dear Sandra, dear
dear
baby
baby.
girl. Right.
And dear, I think there's a dear Dennis in there too. I think his dad's name is
Yeah, he
Dennis.
spoke to dad too.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
And then
don't talk to Adonis.
at the end of that, then it was dear Aubrey.
Right. Don't. All right, you want to talk to my mom and my dad? They're adults. You shouldn't, because I'm gonna still fuck you up. But you talking to my son, telling him
Yes.
you want to mentor
Listen, you don't understand right now. Just play this when you turn 18.
him? Just the memes alone and the videos alone, the
Oh
parody
man.
videos alone of people pretending to be Adonis, getting grounded and going in his room and blasting Kendrick is just. I would be pissed if I was Drake. I would be angry.
Yeah.
I would go for blood. He didn't even have to say anything past Adonis. Who cares? Who cares? This song is over. I just, and he was in his whisper tone, like the kids were in the next room sleeping.
Until a certain point.
Yeah,
Until a certain point. Because
but
when he said, until he said, a fucking pedophile who should never say more life, that
right,
was
right.
not a whisper. I
It
was
was not
like,
a
ooh.
whisper,
Oh,
but
not pedophile, a deadbeat. Sorry.
yes. But
Deadbeat.
I will say the range that Kendrick has been showing, the way he switches up his cadence, the way he goes from yelling to whispering, just I just feel like he Drake is not creative. And
We'll get to that. Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think that's where the disparity is here.
Yep.
In theory, Drake and Kendrick should be matched up because of when they came in the game, but there's a long list, right, of
Yep.
reasons why you would put these two people against each other. But if we're just talking about creativity alone, and I know Rick Ross keeps saying, your writers, Drake, your writers, Drake, even if it is writers,
Right.
they're no
Well,
match.
last Tuesday, when Euphoria came out, that's what I said. I said on Euphoria, Kendrick came with all of the things in his utility belt.
Yeah.
We heard 6 voices. We heard 3 beats. We heard different cadences. We heard so many things. And Kendrick has continued to do that. He has continued to show us different ways that he can be creative and that he can deliver raps as an MC,
Yeah.
right? So we've seen him create different ways. He hasn't only taken one angle. He's attacked Drake, your character as a man, the type of women you date, the father you are not. It's been all over the place and more, which we'll get to when we get to the next record. But, you know, when I heard Meet the Grams, I said, wow, Meet the Grams. Number one, for that to come out just minutes later is crazy. Number two, this feels like a knockout punch.
Yeah.
Even if you take away the verse about the 11-year-old daughter, even if that was not on the record, to
Mhm.
me, this
Mhm.
still feels like one of those punches that leaves you spinning and seeing stars. Like, oh man, what just happened right here? I don't really know where we're at. What day of the week is it? I don't know. That's what Meet the Grams felt like. When you're saying the niggas' parents' names by name, like y'all are cool, you feel what I'm saying? Like you just up there like, hey JB, let me tell you something. No, 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 no.
He said, "I'm sorry your dad didn't wear a condom."
He
I
your
was like,
grandfather. Your grandfather.
your grandfather didn't wear a condom. I was like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's when you start sinking into yourself a little bit. You're like, this is uncomfortable now.
Yes, yes.
this is this is starting to get serious. We were all laughing a week
Yep,
ago.
yep.
Especially when you have like commentary from Rick Ross going white boy
Right,
and
making
whatever
jokes.
and this talking about Drake's identity issues and things like that.
Right,
Did
right.
see
You
just
know,
seeing
it was
like
it was funny, you know. Hey, white boy, I know you got your Dockers on with no drawers,
right.
white boy.
Right. And like we knew that at the root of those things there were serious themes underlying. Yes,
Right,
because if we're going to talk about Drake's proximity to blackness, that's a serious conversation that we could have, but
right.
just we were
The
able to kind of
quality
have a
of Meet the
conversation that
Grams and stepping on Family Matters. Drake was on the floor by that point. Absolutely, Josh. I
yeah,
agree. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying when I
yeah.
say the Drake records have been good, but they have not felt like a knockout punch. Again, right now
No,
we're
they
only
haven't.
at chronologically we're at Meet the Grams. We're gonna get to the other stuff in a minute, but just when you hear Meet the Grams, it feels like, hey, this is over, kid. This is
Yeah.
over.
I mean,
This one is. If it's not over, somebody throw in the towel because it's over for Drake.
again, when I heard Dear Adonis, the
Right,
battle was over for me. The,
right.
the I called it in that moment. I didn't need whatever came after that because the way he said it, he was calm. He wasn't upset.
It was sincere.
I know you're talking about he gets to a point where but at that point when the song first starts, he's very chill. He's very measured. He's
Right,
just like, hey, again, I am one of the people who like to think that Kendrick is, putting the kids to bed and
and goes to rap after.
goes to rap after, which it totally tracks. Because after I read that, and then this came out, and he sounded like he was whispering for a while, and I was like, "Those kids are sleeping, aren't they?" They are, and that's okay. Listen, you got daddy duty first. That's
Right,
important. But this just it was like it felt very effortless, but
yeah,
at the same time very calculated. And some of the things that he was saying, it was just like, oh,
right,
oh, oh, and over this beat, oh,
right,
this is how is Drake gonna come back? Like, what is Drake gonna say? How are
right.
they gonna like? Is it over? Because this feels like it's over.
Yes, and that's the part that I think is important here because when we hear Kendrick's records, it sounds like a heavy punch. It
Yeah,
feels like the kind of punch when you're watching a boxing match that you hear the and you're like,
yeah,
oh. Drake's records have not felt that way again up until the point of Meet the Grams. His records were good, but when Meet the Grams comes out, it feels like, hey, you know what? I'll show you what it felt like. Yeah, it's gonna be a little dramatic, but just bear with me. It felt like this. It felt like this one's close the book. This one is done. That's what it seemed like when you hear Meet the Grams. And again, to me, you could answer for you, but for me, that stays even if you take out the verse about the alleged 11-year-old daughter.
oh yeah,
Because a lot of people are focusing on that part and saying that's why it's a knockout punch. I think
no,
without that, it still feels that way.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It
Well, oh, go ahead.
he and I feel like he very meticulously nestled it in between all of the
Yeah.
other things.
Right. Because
So
by the time we get to the 11-year-old daughter, we already spoke to Adonis. We already spoke to Drake's parents. And then we get to the daughter third before we wrap it up by speaking directly to Drake.
Yeah.
Aubrey, excuse me.
Aubrey.
Aubs.
Ops. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was wild. But
Oof.
Kendrick wasn't done
No.
because very early Saturday, just hours later,
Hmm.
well, what do we get? We get another record from Kendrick.
Hmm.
What's it called? Not Like Us?
Yeah.
We get Not Like Us from Kendrick. What you thought about when you first heard Not Like Us? What you felt like?
Well, for anyone who watches this show, um, I think you know that I like to dance.
Right. Right.
I immediately started dancing. I wasn't even finished listening to it for the first time, and I started dancing. I said, "Oh, Kendrick gave us a little okay,
That's right.
Kendrick, you gave us a little something to dance to." I
You sure
like
did.
this. I appreciate this very much because I always want something to dance to, but also he says some things.
Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. On Not Like Us, he says quite a few things.
He says some things.
Even the artwork of Not Like Us, Drake's house with the sex offender registration icon all in there. He said that's your whole squad. All of them are sex offenders.
And now I'm beyond uncomfortable, and I'm like, oh my gosh, people could go to jail, like
Go to
prison.
jail.
Actually, people
Do
could
not
go to
pass
prison.
go. Do not collect $200.
You are going to jail right now. Okay, that's where we are in the battle. That's why I was like, okay, we were talking about colorism and all kinds of stuff before, and yes, those are very serious topics, but
Right.
this
Yeah.
this is usually around the time where I tap out, and I'm like,
Yep.
because I also don't want to be dancing to this. It just feels uncomfortable.
So
I
wrong.
don't. It feels wrong. So some of the things that Kendrick said, specifically the content. I mean, it's a fun song. I don't think there's any denying that. It's a fun song. He talks about doing a little step in the song and whatever. And I've seen people like doing videos where they're doing a little, they're doing their little
There are
step.
lots of videos for to the audio of Not Like Us with people crip walking, dancing, all type of fun stuff.
It felt like, it felt like you could find any video of Snoop and just put,
Dancing?
yeah, and put the audio
Absolutely.
on it. You could, too easy, right?
Right.
But then I was like, okay, so this is fun, but also it's not fun because wow, did Drake do those things?
Right.
The, the, the problem with this, I'll just say it now, is that truth and lies don't really matter here. Like,
Okay.
I think it matters whether these things are true or not. Yes, because these are really, this is really egregious. Well, we know things Drake has said really egregious
Right.
about allegations that they've made on both sides, things that could send people to prison.
Right.
But I think in terms of the rap battle of it all, I think that people are not even really processing that. I think they're processing it as, oh, he took a shot. Wow, that's a big shot.
Right.
I don't think people are processing it as these niggas could go
As
to jail for this shit.
allegations of domestic violence and pedophilia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've seen in the last couple of days, and I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, but I've seen in the last couple of
Lies are
days,
more entertaining than the truth,
right,
especially in a rap battle.
right. And I've seen in the last couple of days, pedo, pedophile being thrown around like it's a regular word that we just use and
Right.
nonchalantly and don't think of. And that is where I was like, oh, but is this true?
Right.
Because maybe other people are wondering if it's true, but like this is one of the biggest stars in the world that you're accusing of these things.
Right. Both on both sides.
What right? Well, I'm talking about the pedophile thing specifically right now, but yes, on both sides. What are we supposed to do with this information? What are we supposed to do with this? Again, we can table that because I know we're here for the beef of it all, but I think it's worth saying like these
I don't know if Drake is a PDF file downloaded, but this okay. His associated Baca definitely got a SA charge. Got you. Downloader. Got it.
yeah. I mean, and I don't know, and I'm not and I have no reason to I know there have been things about him hanging out with younger people in the industry,
Right.
people who were underage. Hollywood and the music industry is a really weird place.
Yep.
So when some of that came out before, it was weird, but it also was like, is this like the world they live in? Like, is it normal for the big, huge hip hop pop star guy to be hanging out with some of these people? Probably, but
Hmm.
I don't know because I'm not in that weird world. So it's just weird to me. Like, I'm a regular ass person. So I'm sitting here like, are these girls safe? Are they okay? I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
But in terms of the song, yes, you're talking about knockout punch. This was a knockout punch for multiple reasons. He said a lot. Again, his creativity, his cadence, the way he tells the story, the way he brings the information to you is what to me means a lot because it's skillful, it's
Yes.
smart, it's witty. Again,
Yes.
it's creative. I can't say enough how creative Kendrick Lamar is. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't
Let's
a
be
big
honest.
Kendrick Lamar fan in the sense that I was like really diving into his music beyond like what I would hear out in the atmosphere.
Right.
I He is one hell of a creative guy, and I'm sure that he works with other people. So I don't want to take away from anyone who helps and contributes and whatever. But I don't I don't recall Drake ever being like that, and pun intended.
Good one. That was good.
But
If you like that.
but I'm also kind of like, well, Drake, you had to know. Why did you do this? Why did you participate in this? I know the answer to that. He's huge, and what should he do in this situation? He can't back. I mean, he could. J. Cole did.
Yep.
He could have backed out, but I don't think that's Drake's personality.
No, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let me talk a little bit about this record. When Not Like Us came out and it was sent to me, I said, "Man, this guy is not playing fair. You already OD'd on him just last night. Just last night, you dropped Meet the Grams and Wild Out on Drake. Now we hear Not Like Us. And when Not Like Us comes on and he goes, Mustard on the beat, I said, oh, this nigga wilding out. This nigga's wilding out. How you gonna jump on a mustard beat with a bop like this to diss Drake? Oh man. Then you
Yeah,
see the artwork, which I didn't have to Google. I said, this gotta be Drake's house.
yeah, it
And
was
man, I
pretty
don't know what
pretty
those little
easy.
pellets mean, but I promise you they're not good. This is all first listen. I said, I don't know what those
Right.
little things are, but whatever it is, I know they're not good. Then we come to find out it is a specific thing, I said, oh man, he is doubling and tripling down on the Drake diss of your squad being not good people, people who
Right.
do bad things to underage people.
Yeah.
And I said, man, this is not good for Drake. Drake, not only did you get hit really hard just last night, but now this man is crip walking all over you. Oh my God. It was so bad. It was like when you watch a fight and one person is clearly winning, and then the other person slips and falls, and now that person is getting kicked. You like, oh man, oh, nobody's gonna help him up.
Right.
Nobody's gonna help. Come on,
Right.
this is not nice at this point. At this point, this is no longer nice. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I kind of want to crip walk right now. I got to be honest. I'm ready to, I'm ready to do a little dance. I
But
got to be honest because, man, this is what the kids would call a bop, what the kids would
oh,
call a slap, and
this-
it's a slap in the face to Drake because nobody expects Kendrick to do that. That's what we
no.
have expected from Drake, which he's tried to do and hasn't really delivered. But we don't expect that from Kendrick. We don't expect that, especially, and this is why I said last week, Tuesday,
Mhm.
Drake has his hands full. Because look at the contrast in just 12 hours. Look at Meet the Grams, how dark and disrespectful to the bouncy, not like us, just hours later, which is somehow even more disrespectful.
I mean,
Got us chanting OV Ho?
OV ho, OV
Come
ho,
on, man.
OV
Call him
ho,
a
OV
freaky ass,
ho.
called him a freaky ass boy. A
Yeah.
freaky ass boy. Yo, that's foul and funny.
Right.
Kendrick keeps showing us that he's very dedicated to this beef and that he's not playing around.
He's
I'm gonna
not
keep
playing
showing
around.
you, I'm gonna
No.
keep showing you all the things that I can do. I'm gonna continue to flex in different ways with my vocal cords, with my
Yeah.
delivery, with my cadence, with
Yeah.
my creativity, with my range of beat selection. Kendrick just keeps going at Drake. And I said, man, this one is serious. It looked like it's over for Drake. And then the questions begin. The questions begin of what does Drake do now? Do you respond to these allegations and say, hey, I'm not one of those guys. I don't do those things. Everyone I dated was the proper age. Is that what you do as Drake? You respond and
Yeah.
say that? Because that makes it look even worse. But then what
Hmm.
do you not do you not respond and just go on vacation like you said? I don't know. That was the question that began to arise after Not Like Us.
Yep.
And then we get what I think is the best of all the beef records.
Hmm.
Metro Boomin said, well, you done pissed me off.
Retro Boomin said you spoke about my loved ones, and I
And I
am
and
not his
that just won't
stepdad,
do.
but you can't speak about my loved ones.
And then we get this.
BBL Drizzy, BBL Drizzy. Which, by the way, he has asked people to write their own Drake. I can't even say it. Drake diss.
He said, hey, listen, Drake, I can't diss you, but I could do this.
Mhm.
Everyone, here's a free beat. Download BBL Drizzy and give me your best verse. And whoever got the best verse, I will give you one of my fly ass beats for free.
Yep.
Wow.
And people are like, okay, I
And now
got time.
everybody on the internet is just dissing Drake. Oh man. I
Yeah.
thought this beef couldn't get any better. And then BBL Drizzy comes out, and now I'm really dancing. And I'm singing right along with BBL Drizzy. BB.
BBL. I heard somebody do a gospel version
Oh, that's fly.
of it.
I
Like
gotta find
there's
that.
just, this one I haven't played for my mother. I actually have to play this one because my
You
mom
got
has
to.
been keeping up with the beef by way of
Shout out
beef.
to Mom Dukes.
She's been. She texted me last night. I'm minding my own business, and she texted me last night, and she's like, "Did Drake drop another song?"
Yes, Mom.
I
Yes,
said,
Mama Dash. Yes, he did.
yeah,
And we'll
girl,
get to that in a minute.
yeah, I'll play it for you.
Love it. Love it.
Oh yeah, but I think she thinks Kendrick won. Um, her favorite. Oh gosh,
Record.
the names. Yeah, her favorite one.
Euphoria, 616 in LA, Meet the
616 in
Grams.
LA is
Okay.
her favorite. She was like, "You see, I'm tapping my foot." I said, "Okay, girl." Well,
She like that Al Green.
yeah, she like that's what it was. She was like, "I know this beat."
You know what I'm saying?
I think I told y'all that last week, but she's still on it. She's like, "Listen, I like this one." I said, "Okay,
And I ain't
well,
mad at that.
nah."
So we get BBL Drizzy on Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday. Whatever, man.
And it was
One of these
accompanied
days.
by a series of tweets.
Right. You want to read them? You got them?
No, but
All right.
he comes at Drake. He basically goes, I guess, back into Drake's social media archives and pulls like
Right.
photos of Drake, and he's just talking a lot of shit. This went on for a while. There's like a series of tweets
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Metro
Metro
Boomin.
Boomin was upset,
Yeah,
and he
he
made
was
sure to
upset.
say, "I'm not even gonna tell people the real reason I don't bang with you because it would be bad for both of us." And that's what's wild to me. This is where it's like, okay, listen,
I said, "Well, now what the hell happened? What happened? So
right? In the
can
words of
somebody
my
tell me?
daughter, right? In the
Whisper
words of
it in
my
my
daughter,
ear. Just
what
whisper
did
it in my ear real
what
quick."
did what did this guy do? What did Drake do?
Oh, well, Drake did a lot of things. Now, I don't know exactly what Drake did, but the answer to the
Right,
question is Drake did a lot of things. Drake doesn't appear to be a good friend.
right,
I don't know why. I don't know what he did exactly, or maybe it is just some egregious shit that he does on his own or with his people that people don't want
right,
to fuck with. I don't really know. But all
right,
I know is that Drake did something. You can't have that many people having it out for you
right.
unless you did something to piss people off.
Right. And man, Metro Boomin
So
said, I wasn't even really gonna go in on you.
no,
The
he
drum
didn't.
shit was cool, but now you're getting a little
Yeah,
out
he
of
said he
line.
thought it was funny.
So I'm gonna give away a dope ass beat. And I wanna say, man, it's nice to be rich and have resources. Because
You can just give away beats.
as an artist, I can't even get a singer to the studio to save my life. If you was
Mhm.
like, hey JD, we're gonna kill you if you don't get an artist to go sing something in the studio tonight. I'd be like, man, just take me now
This
because
is where I leave you.
this is it. I'm going on vacation, y'all. I'll see y'all later. It's over for me. And Metro Boomin got somebody in the studio going in with the vocals. And he went in with the beat. The beat changes a few times. There's a section that's just claps. He went in. I said, man, this is awesome. I keep seeing Drake has played with talking to women, to the women his peers have been with. Well, yeah, it's pretty clear that some of the women, some of the people are upset about
Yeah.
women, but it's not clear what everyone is upset about. But it does seem, yes, Josh, that most people are upset about something to do with women. Now, he is even saying that on some of his responses. He's become a villain even to women with clowning Meg the Stallion unprovoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
this is true.
That was weird. He just does really weird shit. Because that whole Meg the Stallion thing just simply did not have to happen.
Yeah,
There was no reason for him to do it. I remember when this happened. I remember saying it then, like, why are you bothering her?
right,
Uh, I don't know.
right. Well, just when we were having fun, we were riding the high of Not Like Us and BBL Drizzy. Well, we thought it was all over for Drake.
Right,
But
because you and I had a conversation,
yes,
and I said, do you think that this is it? Do you think that we're gonna get another song sometime soon, or do you think this is it for a while? Because I was curious.
right,
I feel like the love. First of all, not first of all, but I feel like we should talk about that too. Like the level of output between either of them, I think it's commendable.
Absolutely.
Somebody pointed out, was it Charlemagne who pointed out that this is the most music we've gotten any rap beef before?
Yep. This is
And it's
true.
been such a short space of time.
Yeah.
I, which is why, like, as much as I don't, as much as I see a clear winner here, Drake, both of them put a lot into this thing that is happening.
Absolutely.
It hasn't been done without effort, that's for sure.
And
Um,
and I agree, and I want to add, and both of them have done well.
yeah, yeah, but
Because I
sometimes
know I
some
know it
people just do
sounds
better.
like, no, say it again.
Sometimes some people just do better.
This is true. I was gonna say I know it sounds like, I'm 100% Team Kendrick, but I said when this started, I don't have a horse in this race. None of these are my dogs, pun intended.
Do you have a
I don't
cat?
got a Crody in this one.
Oh.
I don't. So, for me, I'm just here for good music, and they've both given us good music. So, yeah,
Yes, they
Charlemagne is right. You're right. The level of output has been phenomenal. They have set a precedent for both response times and the level of back and forths between two people. The last time we saw anything even close to this was when Rockefeller was battling the Locks, and they were both just releasing freestyles, going to Hot 97. Some people watching this may not even know what the hell we're talking about because we're old up here. But that
Hey,
might
hey,
be the
hey, hey.
closest.
Speak for yourself.
Girl, we the same age. Come on now. Just
I'm not that age.
come on, son.
I'm not that age
Anyway,
yet.
all right. Anyway, the last time we saw this level of output or anything even close, which I don't think is the same, it was
Mhm.
years ago. We talking early 2000s. We talking 20 years ago almost. Well, actually more than that because it was like 2002, 2001.
Mhm. Well, I
So,
also, sorry. I also think there's an expectation by people over a certain age, and I'm
okay.
talking about a bracket we fall into. I'm not. This is not shade, but I do think that there is an expectation that this beef was supposed to be like other beefs, and I don't think it was, and I don't think it had to be. I think they did it the way they did it, and that's fine. Yes, there are things we've seen before that we liked a lot. But I also think these are two different people. This is a different time. And I don't think they should be penalized for the people who came before them having a different style or a different set of energy. Or I just feel like a lot of the critiques, it's one thing to say, like you said, you just felt like it wasn't a knockout punch. That's fine. But I feel like a lot of the critiques have been like, this is not Kendrick's best work. This is not Drake's best verse. Well, I don't really think that that's what the goal was here. The goal was
No,
beef. The goal
right,
was not, is this my best verse? Is this the best thing I've ever created? I don't think that's what was supposed to happen here. And I don't think they should be held to that standard.
right,
Could it have been? Could those two things happen at the same time? Yes, absolutely. I think that that is it's perfectly capable, and I think some people may even think that for either of them, this is some of their best work. In fact, I think there was someone who, can't remember who, but it's somebody like somebody we would know, somebody people would know, who said this is Family Matters was one of Drake's best songs ever. Um, and I can understand why the person said it, because from a style perspective, he stayed true to his style. Um, but it didn't feel frivolous. Whereas a lot of his sing-songy music sometimes feels a little like frivolous, or he's just using, soft tones to shit on women or whatever it
right.
is, right? This one felt the most meaningful maybe to that person. But I think there's something to be said for that. Like, it's not the same, and it shouldn't be considered the same. And if you're looking at this like it's something else you've seen before, then no, you're not going to be satisfied with what you get. They're not
Right.
Nas and Jay Z. They're not Tupac. They're not, and that's okay. That's not, and I'm also not downplaying their abilities either. I'm just saying, like, different, just different.
Yeah. No, I agree. It seems like certain people who are 35 and up, podcasters, rappers, different celebs have come forward and expressed their disappointment with some of these records. I don't know what they expected. I agree with you. Every rap diss record is not going to be no Vaseline or hit 'em up.
Yep.
They're not all going to be that because every artist approaches beef differently, and the things that people are willing to say are going to vary depending on who the artist is in the beef and who they're beefing with. So people who are coming out and saying like, "Oh, this rap battle was actually really weak," before they started putting out like rapid fire responses. No, it wasn't. The problem is you weren't being realistic about your expectations. We never saw Kendrick in beef, so we didn't know what he was going to do. And he has not disappointed to anyone who thought this is a person with lots of skill, lots of different abilities, and lots of creativity. We
Hmm.
didn't He didn't disappoint. He came and did what he was going to do. And
Right.
Drake came and gave you bars, which everyone said they wanted from Drake. They said, well, like that dish Drake, he got to respond. He better bring the bars. He did bring bars and jokes and witty
Mhm.
stuff. And so no, people I agree, people's expectations are sometimes unrealistic. And the problem is they're holding this battle to the light of other battles. And
Yep.
that is the problem. And also, while we're on problems, before we get to the last record of the beef, I want to say
Hmm.
one more thing about all the people who have been chiming in that are podcasters, celebrities, rappers, etc. It is super clear who you have relationships with. Maybe
Hmm.
you don't care. Maybe you don't think that's the case, but it is super clear whether that's academics, whether that's Gilly, no matter who it is. When you are seeing these responses that people are saying and the way they're overhyping one side or the other, it's like, yo, fam, clearly you have a relationship. Clearly you are trying to keep that relationship. And clearly you want to continue to benefit from that relationship. All you had to do was be objective. That's it. All you had to do was come in here and say what you truly felt. And it's clear to me that many people have not been doing that. And they have revealed some of their own cards because their tweets and their videos, their public statements have shown I'm a fan of this person or I have a relationship with this person. For some people, that was Drake. For other people, that was Kendrick.
That's
But
Kendrick. Yeah.
these responses and public statements have been really gross. They have proven to me that people cannot be objective. They want to make sure they keep relationships, which is fine, but you could do that in private.
Right. Then just don't even.
Yeah.
Your opinion now is no longer, it's muddied.
Because
And
how do we even move forward listening to you?
yeah, your credibility is questioned, of course. Um. Yeah.
Like Kendrick said, looking compromised.
He did say that. Ooh, he did.
I think it applies to more than just academics. I think there are plenty of people who look compromised in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. And for context, just veering off a little bit.
Uh-oh.
For context, Takeover came out in July of 2001, and Ether came out in December of 2001.
Yeah, it was like 8 or 9 months later. It was months later.
It was a long time after that. And it still made waves, is my point.
Mhm.
So this idea that they have to be putting out music at a rapid rate is nuts.
That's because of Drake. Drake, and when he beefed with Meek Mill and said, I waited 4 days, nigga. Where y'all at? That's where that comes from.
Yeah, and he of all people should not be spreading it around. If he doesn't feel like rapping these days, some people said, okay, I know we didn't get to the last song yet, but
We'll get to it next.
some people, I saw tweets where people who I respect, like in the entertainment industry, were like, Drake sounds tired.
Yeah.
And I
That's
hate that
about
for
the heart.
him. Huh?
That's about the last record, the Heart 6.
Yeah, tired of the six.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Well,
said
let's
he
get to
sounds
that
tired.
record.
Let's get to it.
I just want to make sure that's the right title. Just checking real quick. Uh, Drake.
The heart of the six.
The Heart Part 6.
Oh, the heart parts. Okay.
Yeah, because that's a Kendrick series. So Drake,
Oh,
for context, Drake's response that came out Sunday night was using was doing the same thing that Kendrick did with 616 in LA. So
yeah.
Kendrick responded with a timestamp song because that's Drake's thing, and
Uh-huh.
because it was rumored that that was going to be the name of the next response. So then Drake comes back with The Heart Part 6. The Heart is a series that Kendrick has where he does like kind of like I dare you to say something to me raps.
Okay.
Um and so the last one was 5 and so Drake did part 6 to say neener neener neener.
That's clever.
Yeah, but Kendrick did it first. So still beat you to it. But yes, Drake dropped The Heart Part 6. And you sent it to me. And I'm going to be honest, when you sent it to me, I said, good Lord, Kendrick dropped again?
I was like,
Another
excuse
one?
me, this is Drake's song.
And then you said, no, no, no. This one is Drake. And I said,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I see what we're doing here. I see
Yeah.
what we're doing. All right.
Yeah.
Somebody just texted me they missed it. No, no, we're still live, player. Hold on 1 second.
Well, listen, I thought Drake put up a good fight, but
I think because the old link.
mm,
1 second. I just want to send them the new link.
I was saying I think Drake put up a good fight, but I don't know. I don't think this is the one for him. Mm-mm. I think he had an
I'm back.
outstanding opponent. I was just talking to the people while you were gone, and
Oh,
I
what'd you
was
say?
saying,
What'd you say? What up? What up,
I,
Jay Lopez? What up, Tez?
hey, hey. I was saying that I think that, I think Drake put up a good fight,
Ah,
but
well, let's get to this last record. The Heart, Part 6.
I was underwhelmed.
Okay, okay.
Now, on Friday I said I was fatigued with the beef,
You absolutely did.
which is really funny because hours later when
When Family Matters and the
when Family
Meet the
Matters,
Grams dropped, you
I
were
was
quite the
so
opposite.
excited.
Right,
I was so excited. I was having a good time. I was having fun. I thought it was great. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, rap beef. This is exciting. What was I talking about 3 hours ago saying that I didn't want to hear anymore?"
right.
But then this came out and I got a little underwhelmed again. It wasn't bad. It wasn't
Okay,
bad. It just like was kind of sleepy for me. He said a lot of things.
okay.
But I just also like Whitney keeps coming up. He really wants us to know this thing about Kendrick and Whitney,
That's his fiance, baby mama, etc. Yes,
the one he's not marrying. Yep,
that's
that's
what
what
Drake
Drake told
said.
us.
Yeah.
Um, that's what Drake told us. Yeah, and then Drake also asserts that he fed information
To Kendrick's camp.
to Kendrick's people. so that Kendrick could, I guess, respond to think with information that isn't true.
Yep.
Well, Drake, where is the proof that you did that?
That is exactly what I thought. The other thought I had was that doesn't really matter anymore.
Oh yeah, the whether these things are lies or not is has gone out the window. I think that they both open cans of worms that we can't come back from. Like at some point, we're gonna have to deal with the very serious allegations on both sides. But if we're just talking about the beef, yeah, the truth and lies don't matter here.
No, it doesn't matter. And more so, you going on a record that's supposed to be a beef record and basically saying, hey, man, none of that stuff is true. You guys can't believe him. Believe me. That's not the way you ended this. That's not the way you
Yeah,
end beef.
yeah,
Once again, a good record, but it did not, once again, feel like a knockout punch. And
right,
Drake, once again, is trying to get out of the beef. So,
yeah,
first you say you're going on vacation, we need to figure it out. And then
mhm,
you now come back and say, I know you got 10 more records, but I'm done with this. This is not worth my time.
yeah.
Drake, Drake,
Drake.
what are you doing, player?
Thank you. So, where is Soldier Boy in all of this?
I'm glad he's not involved.
Why
I'm glad
hasn't
he's not
Soldier
involved.
shown up?
Yeah, I'm glad he's not involved. But my point is, Drake, you said you wanted to battle. You said on push ups,
Mhm,
hey, as soon as you show up, it's over for you. I'm going to be all over you. I got a bunch of shit to diss you with.
yeah.
And so now why you keep trying to run away? It don't look good. It doesn't look good. And again, you responded with a record that was cool.
Mhm.
That beef felt fabricated. I'm sorry, I lost interest on day two. Oh, that's interesting. I feel the opposite. I think a lot of the people involved in this beef have an issue with Drake, including Kendrick. I think everything that Kendrick has said feels very much like, nigga, I don't like you. I have not liked you for a long time. And now we're going to talk about why.
I considered that it was
And my biggest
fabricated.
issue is that all those tracks suck. Look at Takeover and Ether. You can bang them and enjoy them as is. Yeah, player, you might want to listen again. Euphoria is dope. I don't agree with that. I don't think any of the records suck. And I don't think that you can't bang them.
I don't.
Especially not like us. Not like us is fire. That is going to get a lot of play
That's what
for
we
a
playing a
lot of
lot this
years.
summer.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what we
And
playing.
like that started to a lot of people,
Right.
like that started it, and that's a great record. Same
It's
thing
on
with
the
First
radio.
Person Shooter.
Yeah, like that is on the radio. I heard it. I
And
was
I
in the
like
car
that
the
is
other
a
day, and
number
I was
one
like,
Billboard hit.
oh, okay, this is okay. Do a little something, but I, I don't know. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Um. Oh, I was gonna say I thought that I kind of thought it was fabricated too in the beginning, and I could see how if you would lose interest day two and think that it was fabricated. I think in the beginning it felt very much like I said earlier that it felt very much like everybody was playing around for a while, but then things switched at some point and it got super serious. And I don't think that excuse me, I don't think that either of them would get into something where they would fabricate Kendrick being with this woman for however many years and beating her and Drake being a pedophile. I just don't think those I don't think those things would be a part of the conversation if it wasn't real.
Yeah, it would be
Um
a lot more jokey joke. It would be a lot more about lyrical skills and a lot less about I'm gonna try to destroy you as a man. Because a lot of what this
yeah,
beef
or
has been I'm gonna try to destroy you as a man. Kendrick saying, you know, I can tell you have issues with accepting who you are. The stuff about the kids, and it's just been
Right.
layer
Her
after layer
family's getting
of
involved.
you as a man are not a good person. He even said, like, you should be
Excuse
doing
me.
kind things to people. At one point, Kendrick even was like, yo, dog, you're just really mean for no ass reason. Which I think is funny, but it's about character. It's not about
Yeah.
this battle has not just been I rap better than you. That has been clear from the beginning, I think. And I think as we continue to get records, that becomes more and more evident. This is not just two rappers trying to prove who's the better MC. This is, I'm going to destroy who you are as a man to the public.
Yeah, this is I don't like you.
Yeah.
This feels very much like I don't like this person. I mean, I think Kendrick said it best when he did his monologue
Euphoria.
about, yeah, I think Euphoria, I think Kendrick said it best. Like, I don't like you, and
Right.
I don't like anything about you.
Right. And he
So,
quoted DMX. I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you
yes.
talk. Yeah.
Exactly. I think when that happened, it was like, oh wait, so y'all really don't. Okay,
Right. Right.
okay.
And to be clear, I want to say, Pez, I don't think there's a problem with two people just battling lyrically. I don't think there's a problem with, I think I'm better than you and I'm willing to prove it. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's what this has become, even if that's how it started. I don't think that's how it started, but even if it did, that's
Mhm.
long gone at this point.
Right.
At this point, this is, I want to make sure that people no longer look at you as a man. I want to make sure that your character is destroyed. You good over there?
I almost, my ring light almost just
I saw it.
toppled
It
over.
did. It did the Harlem Shake. It must
I
have heard
was,
not like us.
I was trying to charge my phone, and no, but it's good. It's good now.
Your ring light was going OV ho.
Oh, the ho! Yeah, it was.
Anyway, let's get back to the Heart Part Six. I thought this record was good. I didn't think it was bad. Drake coming out and trying to say we manipulated you, you fell for the trick, all this stuff about his BM and whatever day free. It's cool, but what's weird to me about the Heart Part Six is like most of this is about your boy smashing his baby moms. Who cares? Like, what about you? What about responding to the things that Drake said about you? Because it seemed like a lot of Drake's talking points on the Heart Part 6 came from Drake's internet fans. A lot of what he was saying was what Drake's fans were saying on the internet after Meet the Grams came out. It didn't seem like he really was saying much that was, again, good raps, but it doesn't seem like close the book. It doesn't seem like the end. It doesn't seem like a knockout punch. To
Mhm.
me, it probably would have been better if he didn't even put out that record because I hear what he's saying that, hey, you fell for the trick. We tricked you. You're lying. All right, cool, nigga, but this ain't like the Discovery Channel. This is rap beef. Niggas, it's not about who's lying and who's telling the truth. That's not the deciding factor in the beef. It's who said the better shit, who had a bigger impact, whose records felt like a knockout punch, who is the definitive winner. That's what matters in a battle. Not, oh man, but that stuff you said wasn't true. Okay, nigga, who cares? Like, it's all's fair in love and war. This is war. Like, and y'all have made it war. This is no longer just, oh yeah, I'm gonna rap and say that, Dash, I don't like when Dash does this, and Dash is gonna say she don't like when I do that. No, this is you guys are trying to obliterate each other. So your quote unquote final record saying you fell for it, this was cool, but I'm done. Have fun with your other records. It comes off very arrogant. It comes off very like, I'm too good for this. But then why do you keep poking him and asking for it? It's very confusing to me as a person who doesn't really care who wins, as a person who doesn't have a horse in the race, as a person who's just a hip hop fan here to enjoy the beef. It's been entertaining, sure, but again, and I gotta keep saying it, none of Drake's records have sounded definitive, have sound better than Kendrick's records, or sounded like a knockout punch.
Drake bit off more than he could chew.
I agree.
I don't think he's bad in any way. I also, like I said earlier, I think that we thought that Drake was going to wake up. I really thought, okay, we're waking up the beast here, which
Hmm.
is really exciting because I know and you know that Drake is capable of
Absolutely.
being the beast, right? But I just feel like he was like rapping with like a nail file and just like, uh-huh, you know, yep.
Hmm.
I don't think he really I don't really think he's in it anymore. And I think that it shows. I
Hmm.
understand why people are asking, is he tired? Um, Again, the music wasn't bad.
No, none of the records.
It wasn't bad. It's just like, oh, okay, this is cool. I kind of checked out like in the middle of the Heart Part 6. I had to
Hmm.
listen to it again a few times, but the first time I listened to it, I just kind of started to zone out. I was like, "Oh, okay, so this is where we're at, and this is where we're gonna be." Um, and I did expect more from Drake. I gotta be honest,
Yeah.
um, because I know Drake's catalog far more than I know Kendrick's. Um, so that's why I keep saying like I know that he may not have won like in the end, but I think he could have put up a better fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point, who knows if there's any more coming out from either side. But it sounds like Drake has continued to say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. He said
He
on
said-
Family Matters, I'm going on vacation. Now he said, you could drop as many records as you want. I'm done. This is not worth my time. That's a cool way to downplay it for the casual fan, for the people who just listen to you for pop records. But the people who are truly invested in this battle, the people who care about the art of MCing, we're not trying to hear that shit. It probably would have been better if you just didn't respond at this point because you're basically saying, I'm not the P word and I don't have a daughter and my boy smashed your BM. Okay? None
yeah.
of that is impressive. None of that was great. I mean, the best line is probably when he said, I'll slit your throat and only leave breadcrumbs for Rick Ross, like that one Malaysia flight. Okay, cool. But even that, like, Kendrick is saying way more shit. Drake learned a valuable lesson. Leave that short king alone. Right,
Yeah,
right,
right.
right. Yeah, I
Right.
agree, Josh. I agree. So I guess my question is, you said Kendrick won. I agree Kendrick won. Josh agrees Kendrick won. I guess my question is, does Kendrick need to say anything else? Because some people are saying, well, Kendrick, you're up at bat again. Kendrick, you're on the clock.
He
Do you
doesn't.
think he does?
I don't think he does, but I think he will.
Okay.
I think Kendrick wants to have the last word.
Okay. Okay.
Just in the way that this has gone,
Uh-huh.
I don't think I think he wants to squash him like a bug. And you know how
Yeah.
you squash a bug and then sometimes you see
It's like
still
you still alive?
moving.
You still
That's
moving?
gonna gut you.
Right. You gotta
Gonna put
like
you
you gotta
down.
squish it like this a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? He
Do
doesn't
it
need
one more
to, but I think
time.
he might have one left. All right, Josh.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think he's got to have at least one left, so he could just be like,
Right.
"Shut up." I feel like
Right.
that's what this. I feel like that's what this is. He's like, I'm gonna shut you up if it kills me. Like I am trying to shut you. Shut up. I I don't know. I don't know. That's just the way I've been looking at it. Maybe I'm
Uh,
completely wrong. Maybe he doesn't care about that. But the way that the way that it has gone, the way that he has put out each song as quickly as he has, I feel like that this is very much like, oh my gosh, the stupid bug won't die. So I don't think we saw the last of him.
okay. I gotta be honest. I don't know, but
Mhm.
I don't think Kendrick needs to do anything else. I agree
Mhm.
with Josh that I don't think he needs to.
Yeah,
Uh,
need to.
I don't know if he will. As far as
Mhm.
I'm concerned, there's not much more to say.
They're Adonis.
Hey, here's a little Easter egg. Listen to Element from Kendrick now that we've been through this back and forth. Yeah, Element and Heart Part 4, I saw people saying like they age well and
Mm.
they kind of foreshadowed a lot of these things, including J. Cole apologizing. Um,
Okay, I will listen to that.
yeah, I saw somebody put like a montage together of those. But yeah, I don't think Kendrick needs to. I think he's done more than enough because in a lot of people's eyes, Drake was the bigger artist,
Yeah.
even beyond rap or the bigger MC.
Hmm.
Maybe not the better, but the bigger, right? And so from
Yeah.
Kendrick's position, all he really had to do was show that Drake could bleed. And he did a lot more than that. So that means he kind of wins this one just off that. But he did so much more that I think it's clear that he won. I don't think there's any confusion out there if people are being objective. And beyond that, I think at this point, what is there left to say? Shut up and take your loss like a man? Not, I mean, besides that, I don't know what else you got to say if you're Kendrick.
I mean, how many do you think he did? Let's guess.
Well, Drake says he got 10. I'm sure that was an exaggeration, but the way Kendrick is releasing records, it's clear that Meet the Grams was done and ready to go. It's clear that Not Like Us was done and ready to go. I wouldn't be surprised if he has two, three more in the clip. I just don't think you need.
I mean, I feel like this is what I think. I feel like he puts the kids to bed at 8,
Okay.
and then wifey says he has to be in the bed by midnight.
Oh, so you don't believe none of the shit Drake is saying about them being separated, him not seeing the kids in 6 months?
This is a story I've fabricated in my mind based off of things that people have said on the internet. This has no. You
But
killed
I'm
my story
asking, do
because
you
I was just
believe
trying
that
to
that
say.
stuff
I
Drake
was
is saying?
trying to do the. I was trying to do the math.
My bad, player.
If he's got 4 hours a night, I mean, you could do a lot in 4 hours.
That's true.
And then weekends, you probably get a little extra time.
Probably.
All right, the kids sleep in. Maybe you wake up a little early. Wake up at 6. Kids are up by 8. You got a couple hours, right?
Oh, no, you don't have kids. Those toddlers are up at 6.
No, I know, but I'm saying, it's breakfast time. It's whatever. He probably has a little time to sneak away. That's what I'm saying because you don't have to work on the weekends and whatever. I don't know what she does. I have no idea. I'm making things up. The point here is, I think he probably has a lot more going on than we know. It has been said that rappers, when they're in the middle of beefs like this, that they record a bunch of records as they're anticipating their opponent's next move, which is super smart, makes a lot of sense. So I would imagine he has some. I honestly wonder, like, on Drake's side of things, did Drake do that? Doesn't feel like it, but
It doesn't. It feels like in the beginning, right? So
uh,
push-ups ending with the beginning of Family Matters. That's very clear that Family Matters, at least that piece already existed. I don't think he had a bunch more in the tuck. And Heart Part 5, I'm sorry, the Heart Part 6 is clearly a direct response to the last two records that couldn't have been in the tuck. Side note, sources report
oh,
J. Cole reportedly advised by Schoolboy Q to exit the Kendrick Lamar beef. Yeah, there was a lot of rumors about that. Some people even said Kendrick might have let J. Cole hear something. So very possible. But you see, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I wish there was no Drake in this beef. I would love to see just lyrical sparring between Kendrick and Cole because this "you're not a good man" stuff and "I'm gonna destroy your character" stuff wouldn't exist, and we would
yeah,
just get a great bar for bar battle no matter who wins.
yeah.
So I get it. This was personal, but to me, it's sad that this is what happened. Uh, I mean, I'm hyped for Kendrick.
I mean, if you
I
had a good
think
time,
Who had a good time?
You did.
Oh, I had a good time. I had a
You did.
blast.
I mean,
I've
that's
I've
like
been
that's
having
all
the
it is.
most amazing couple of weeks in a long time. I
Right.
mean, what Joe Budden likes to say, the streets have been fed. Man, they have been fed very well. We are beyond full. Like, we are grossly full at this point. And I'm still not going to be surprised if Kendrick drops another record in the next 24 hours.
And we will be back to tell you all about it.
Yes,
So, this has been Weeknights Live.
that's right.
Do you
Thank
have
you
any
for
last
joining
thoughts?
us. Do I have last thoughts? I wish Timestamp Drake would have showed up.
Me too.
And by that, I don't necessarily mean he had to put a timestamp record out. He
No,
could
but
have
it's a
left.
certain
But that
person.
level of response, that level of hunger has
Mhm.
been lacking from his responses. They've been just very arrogant, and I wish that. I wish that Drake would have showed up. As my daughter said, I wish that era of Drake would have come
Yeah, she
to
was
fruition.
asking for Marvin's Room Drake, and I was like, I get it, I understand, because that guy just seemed like he was in a different headspace. Um, yeah. So I see Josh just sent us something. Is that
Well,
something we need
I
to
want me to
read
check it.
now? Yeah,
I
because I
can
can't.
check it. Hold on. Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
But yeah, this maybe this is over, maybe it's not. Who knows? I guess we'll see. What the next
It
couple of
said
things.
it was a Twitter post that said Drake's The Heart Part 6 officially has more dislikes than likes on YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah. Thank you
oh,
for that, Josh.
he is steaming mad right now. He is somewhere upset and speaking in an accent he doesn't even recognize anymore. I just, ooh, all right, Drake.
Oh,
Drake, let's level with you. It's time to call it. It's just go on that vacation. Go on the vacation. Where does Drake like to go? Wherever he wants to go, he should go there. He can afford it.
yeah.
Go, and take all your baddies and things, whatever people do when they're rich. Take them with you. Go have a
Right.
good time. Not young people, people who are age appropriate. Take them with you and go have a good time
Right.
consensually. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Um, you know, he be out in Turks. Okay, Josh.
I was
Okay,
gonna
Josh.
say Turks. I was gonna say Turks, but I wasn't sure.
That's mad funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen. Like I said, I don't think Kendrick has to do anything else, but I won't be
Uh,
surprised if he does.
right.
To me, this is over. And I just wish, like I said before Josh sent that text to us, I wish that truly we got the real Drake. The Drake that we know is capable, the Drake that we know wants to battle, not this arrogance of, hey man, this was cool, but I'm out. I'm out, man. I'm out. I'm better than this. I'm out. See you when I see you. I
Mhm.
think, that shit
Yeah.
thumbs down. So
Yeah.
that's my only regret here. And one last thing, if I'm Kendrick and Drake is saying, "Oh, you're only doing this because you got an album coming," so I'm dropping the album, and all the diss
Yeah.
records will be at the end of the album.
Right, which would make sense since he didn't. I don't think any of them are streaming.
What?
You're talking about Kendrick or Drake?
Kendrick. If I'm Kendrick,
Right. I'm saying I don't think are the songs are they streaming right now, the diss tracks?
yeah, all of them are up there. The only
Oh.
song that's not on streaming sites right now is 616 in LA.
Oh. I've been accessing them on YouTube, so
Oh yeah, Euphoria's there. Meet the Grams is there, and Not Like Us is on streaming platforms as well.
okay. I didn't realize that. I feel like they weren't there initially. Not all
Not
of them.
immediately, no.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm
Well,
like,
Euphoria dropped immediately Tuesday, and
right.
then
And then
the
after
other
that.
two They dropped. I think they got there Sunday or late Saturday, something like
Okay.
that. But I would absolutely listen. Even if I did not have an album coming,
Hmm.
now I got an album coming. If I'm
Oh,
Kendrick,
sure. Yeah.
I'm dropping an album and I'm gonna put all 4 diss tracks at the end of the project. And if there's another one, put them all there. Call the project "What's Beef," "Undefeated Champion."
Oh,
You should you
I
should have
hate you.
apologized like Cole. Call it whatever you want.
I hate you.
The Boogeyman.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
just like, do something over the hate me now beat.
absolutely. Get Nas permission.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would start my project with which it went viral again, but I would start my project with President Obama saying, if these guys ever battle, I gotta go with Kendrick.
Yeah.
Kendrick, Kendrick, Kendrick. Then the beat starts.
Yeah.
Come
No,
on, you
that's
got to.
you. I mean, how could you not?
How could you not?
Well, this has been Weeknights Live. Thank you so much for showing up and commenting or just watching or whoever's watching the playback. We appreciate you too.
Right.
And maybe we'll do another one of these, at some point.
At some point.
But until then, you can always find us on weeknights, Monday through Friday,
That's right.
around 8:30ish. But
It
yeah,
varies, but we're always here.
we're always here. So, YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right.
So thank you for coming. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button
Hit
so
the
you can
subscribe button.
listen. Of course, you want to see what's going on. Maybe you didn't catch an episode, but you want to catch one of our clips. You can absolutely do that too, that zero in on specific topics. And yeah, so thank you for coming.
That's it. I'm going to stick around because I have learned that YouTube Live will cut off too soon if I don't wait around.
Right, there's a
So
delay.
there's a delay. So I'm going to stick around. But Dash, you can go if you want. But this is the official end of the episode. All right. I'm gonna just stick around for another 2 minutes, I guess. I don't even know how
It's
long the
not.
delay is.
It's not 2 minutes.
It's a few seconds, but I'm gonna just stick around for another minute or two. I don't.
It's not 2 minutes. You should be good to go now because there's still people in the live. That's why I'm like, you gotta end it. If you don't end it, they won't leave.
I mean, once they get to this point, they'll hear us saying we're out. So
Right.
they should have left by now. So if they haven't left, I'm gonna assume you know they haven't caught up to us saying goodbye yet.
This is hilarious. Oh my gosh. This
You
is
can use
so
all of this
funny.
for a clip later.
Yeah. Get out. Go. We need you to leave. This is over.
Ew.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Why are you
man.
still here? Get out. Go home, Roger.
Go home, Roger. That's funny. All right. I think we're good.
I
Hopefully
think
it got
we're
to
good.
the end. If not, oh, thank you for the stream. There you go,
Thank
Ted.
you. Thank you for
Right.
being here.
We're out.
Okay, now it's done.
All
Okay,
right.
bye.